Yo, welcome to the Women's Basketball Lounge. Grab a drink, grab a cigar, grab whatever your festivities are, and let's go.
We're back.
We are back, episode 6.
Pew, pew.
So excited to be back. We got so much stuff to talk about.
Mhm.
Yeah, I see your shirt and I'm jealous that you have it. It's a really dope shirt. I can't wait to get into that.
I had to buy it. I didn't care how much it cost. I didn't care.
Yeah, actually, they sold out. Someone was buying it as a birthday gift for me, and it sold out before they could do that. So hopefully they'll come back in stocks. Hopefully they'll come back in stock soon. But yeah, I can't wait to rock my Asia shirt.
Okay. So, but how have you been?
Oh, I've been great. I've had some really dope things creatively happen. I was a performer at the Ocean State Black and Funny Improv Festival last weekend, and that was amazing. Met some really dope Black improvisers and had some great synergy with people, built some relationships that I hope will continue. And also I feel like it just energized me creatively again, which is cool. But since I was in that area, I took a little detour after that over to New York. It's only a few hours away from Rhode Island. So spent some time with one of my best friends out there. And also just like sort of, had a moment with New York. New York is one of my favorite places in the world. And there's something about the energy there that is healing for me. Yeah, it does some things for me, re-energizes me, and it was cool. So I've had some time away, which is nice. I think the change of scenery has been good for me. So I'm feeling good. I'm tired as shit, but I'm tired in the best ways possible. So you can't ask for better than that. Yeah,
you can't.
I'm ready to get grinding, get working, excited for all the upcoming things I got going on. What about you? What you been up to?
Yeah, I mean, just to piggyback off of you, you're in grind mode. So grinding and all that, like that's what it takes. And having a good tired versus bad tired is always what's up. But speaking of that, it's crazy. I just was having a conversation on Tuesday. A sports agent stopped by my gym just to give some motivational talks to my kids before we start season next Wednesday. And we went out to dinner or whatever, just networking. And, he was just saying one of his offices is in New York or whatever. And we were just talking about like the grind in New York is different and how sometimes he's from Texas, but sometimes he loves to go to his New York office just to get back in that mode and remind himself.
Yeah.
Because sometimes in Texas, we can just, we could be a little lazy. We could be a little too cool, and when you like a sports agent, a coach, a grind, like an entrepreneur, all that stuff, and you need to be in grind mode, sometimes you need that motivational check. So New York's always a good place to do that. Which grind mode, we're going to talk about it. The Liberty is in grind mode. The New York Liberty is in grind mode right now.
Oh my
they
God.
remember what happened last year.
How awkward for me to have been in New York during game 4. I had to watch the game in my hotel room because I was not going to be out at a bar cheering for Vegas in New York.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I was like, where you at? New York. What the hell? I'm in Vegas. You in New York.
Right.
That's why they lost, Mick. That's why they lost.
No, don't put that.
Your ass is in New York.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. No.
Man.
I definitely thought about that. Like, It's what? No. We gonna get into that though.
We gonna get into it. We gonna get into it. But I've been doing good, putting my head down, man, grinding in the off season, preparing. Like this weekend, I have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off and Monday, but I'm gonna be in the office soon after I get done here. I'm gonna go to the office, get my inventory done, get grindy, because guess what? Wednesday is coming, and Wednesday is the tip off of girls basketball for college and high school. So I know South Carolina plays on Wednesday. So next week, hey, we're ending WNBA season, but we're starting a whole new exciting seasons of exciting high school basketball, 5-star, 4-star teams just competing, as well as college is going to be the most watched college season, I think, ever. So even beyond what Caitlyn Clark did. So amazing stars rising. So I'm just excited for next week. So it's just a great time for women's basketball. Great time for women's basketball.
It is. And you bring up a good point, like for our audience, like the women's basketball lounge is not stopping at the end of the WNBA season. Like we're just getting started. We just getting in this thing. You know what I'm saying? So yes, we cover, just a reminder, we cover all women's basketball from every level, and even international ball, all that stuff too. So yes, to Mimi's point, the WNBA season is ending, but college and high school is just starting. So, we got a lot more stuff to cover for sure.
Right. And speaking of that, I want our listeners and viewers to know, if you know a high school basketball player in your area that we haven't name dropped or haven't talked about, send us a DM, a video, whatever, so we can check them out and shout them out on the podcast, because we want to know, because I know there's tons of high school players out there that's grinding. So we want to expose them to the podcast.
Yeah, for sure. Even middle school, we've gotten some stuff. Somebody sent something over about a middle school player, and we've even talked about a middle school player on here before. So if there's a standout, send them to us.
That's crazy. I'm actually going to be in November, and maybe I can name drop and probably invite one of them on the podcast. I'll be doing a 8th grade camp with Chris Paul. Chris Paul does an 8th grade camp in like 13 states throughout the year. It's of top 8th grade players, girls side, girls and boys. And it's newcomers going into high school. And it's like the elite of the elite. So all the best Texas 8th grade players are going to be at that camp, and I'll be coaching in that camp. So, I'll be able to name drop some people, some upcoming rising stars.
Nice. I love it. Can't wait. Cannot wait. So.
Yes. So let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Let's just start off with the shirt. Unanimous MVP. Asia Shaniqua Johnson Wilson.
You know what I love about this? For those who may not remember, last season, Asia did not get MVP. And she actually received a 4th place vote from one of the voters. And what I love a good comeback story. I love a good I can show you better than I can tell you story. And I feel like this year, she repurposed probably whatever that frustration, disappointment, maybe even hurt was, and turned that into a magical season, just an absolutely incredible season, like to the point where they didn't have a choice. She forced it, and I appreciate that. I like that in her, like force them to give you your things.
Yes, I mean, I was just so happy for her. I mean, the second unanimous MVP ever. The only other person was Cynthia Cooper back in the day. So that's huge. That unanimous is huge. I mean, we saw this year, this woman, she's about to be the first millionaire basketball player. And I'm not talking about sponsorships. I'm talking about like basketball WNBA contract. I believe, in my opinion. You know, when I said it first, I think she's about to be the first $1 million contract player for the WNBA. As the WNBA continues to grow, she deserves it first, in my opinion. Out of everybody, her, Napheesia Collier, of course they're gonna give it to Caitlyn Clark. But just those three alone, I think, deserve that $1 million contract. So I can't wait for A'ja to continue to get her flowers. I mean, we see her on every CarMax commercial, AT&T commercial. You know what I mean? Yeah. She is the face of the W right now. And kudos to A'ja, because she deserved it. That girl worked hard. Yeah. That girl worked hard and she deserved it. But, you know, to piggyback off of what you said, the underdog is real. Like, in the game of sports, it's hard beating the underdog. I mean, A'ja had that grit on her back the entire season. You saw her. Look, Aces, I love y'all, but A'ja Wilson carried y'all the whole season.
Oh, yeah. Oh, A'ja, yeah.
I mean, I love you, Plum Dog. I love you, Chelsea Gray, but Alicia Clark, Jackie Young, but y'all were inconsistent.
They've been inconsistent. Yeah. Yes. The fact of the matter is the whole team has been inconsistent all year. A'ja has been consistent all year. And the one game that she had kind of an off game in game 4, it was disappointing because the rest of the team could not even step up and carry her when she's been carrying them all season. You know, I love Aces. It's Aces gang. But call a thing a thing. Like, she needed y'all to help. The way the New York Liberty was defending her, she needed the rest of the team to step up. And unfortunately, I feel like everybody else just did not do that.
Correct. And I want to if you don't mind, change what you said in the sense of she didn't take off in game 4 or
I don't think she took 2 off. I think she
one is just how they played her. I mean, every time the woman was catching the ball, she was seeing double, sometimes triple. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's just not smart basketball to force a shot up when you're being doubled and tripled, when you have a whole team that was just playing for Team USA, Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray, Kelsey Plum. They should have stepped up. And
she should be able to trust the rest of the team. I mean, I don't think she called it in. I think she played smart. Like, it was just the way they were defending her. She needed to depend on everyone else, and they just didn't show up for the team. Correct. I won't say it's just for her, but they didn't show up for each other the way they needed to. Yeah.
I mean, and we already getting into it. I mean, I went to game 4. I mean, Becky Hammon was chewing their ass out. You could see the frustration on A'ja's face. You know what I mean? Yeah. But at the same time, when you're facing a team that has been to the finals and failed and failed, and Breanna Stewart has been to the finals with the Storm. Like, she got beat by the Aces with the Storm, and then gets to the New York Liberty and gets beat by the Aces again. She had a chip on her shoulder. JJ was at Connecticut, got beat by the Aces in the finals at Connecticut, goes to New York, gets beat in the finals with New York. They had a chip on their shoulder, Mick. So,
absolutely.
You know, I felt like the Aces, it's not that they didn't want it bad enough. It's just New York wanted it more. And they didn't have that chip that A'ja had. You know, Plum Dog, like the starting 5 of the A's, they didn't have that.
They weren't playing with the fire.
And the talent. The talent was there. The talent's gonna always be there. But what beats talent every time? Effort.
Drive. Yeah.
Drive. Effort. Ambition. Yeah. How bad you want it.
Yeah. And I think some of that is probably fatigue, you know, keeping in mind that they did have 6 players who played in the Olympics, and the way Becky Hammon ran, because I love what she did in game 3, right? Asia played the entire first half. Boom, let's hit it. And then she was able to sit down. And I think in game 4, you know, she maybe tried to run that same thing and it just didn't work the same way. But they were tired. I feel like by the end of it, they didn't have anything left to give. But also like that will to win, that's like, no, I want this something has been taken away from me and now I want it again. Now I want that. This is my chance at it. And I feel like the Aces, because they do have back-to-back championships, we just not as hungry as we used to be, frankly. Right. We're just not as hungry. We are you know, we are very comfortable where we are. And so for that reason, although it's Aces gang, and I would have loved to see us three-peat, like would have loved that.
Yeah.
I think we needed this. I think it needed to happen to remind us that we can be beat, first of all, and that everybody wants to beat us, and that competition is just getting harder and harder. And so our grind has to be harder and harder, because we could have won game 4. We shot terribly. I believe
it was like we was down 2 or down
20 something percent. Like,
and we just never could get over that hump.
Yeah. It was like a focus thing. It's a focus thing for me, in my opinion, where it's like.
And then they didn't have Kia Stokes, which she contributed on the rebounded. But at the same time, game 1, they wasn't even guarding Kia Stokes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But she is a body on the defensive end to help Asia not guard JJ all night. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
But I mean, if they don't have Kia Stokes, I mean, you got Asia guard JJ all freaking night, and JJ can shoot 3. So you got Asia Wilson guarding around the 3-point perimeter.
It's a bit of a mismatch between her and JJ. It is, frankly. It is. I mean, AJ
can wear you out.
Asia is superwoman for sure, but that's a mismatch between her and JJ. I don't like that together, and I no shade. I know I said to Kia Stokes, but the reason I did that is because we won game 3 without her. Yeah. So, you know, that's the reason why I was like, I don't feel like it was that, you know what I mean? But that big of a thing. But I think you make a good point. Like, if nothing else, it gives Asia a break from having to defend JJ all night, who wore her out. Essentially, that's just important. Wore her out. Yeah,
that's important, not to wear your MVP out. But you know, Becky Hammond said, you know, right after the press conference, we're gonna see a new Aces team. We know she ain't going nowhere. Asia ain't going nowhere. Mm-hmm. We know that. But everybody else, I do believe Asia.
What? Wait,
and
hold
Kelsey
on. I don't want to get into predictions yet.
Okay. Yeah, we gonna wait on that.
Because we gonna do some predictions at the end for sure. But I got some too, and I definitely want to talk about it.
All right, let's get into it. Next topic: Caitlyn Clark, Rookie of the Year, and Angel Reese only got uno vote for Rookie of the Year.
I mean, to be honest, I would have been okay with either of them being Rookie of the Year. Like, I think if it came out to be either of them, I would have been okay with that. I think it's a justifiable decision regardless. So Caitlyn Clark definitely deserves Rookie of the Year. I think also Angel Reese deserves Rookie of the Year. Like, they both do. I think I was just surprised to see that Angel Reese only got 1 vote for Rookie of the Year. And I don't know if that is because of the injury, so she didn't complete the year, or, you know, what all contributed to that. But I was surprised, not necessarily upset, but just surprised that only 1 person voted for her.
Well, you know, I'm gonna say 2 things. Mm-hmm. I do believe that Angel Reese is very much hated within the managerial community of the WNBA. Like, I know
within
for a
fact, the managerial community. That's interesting.
Yeah, I know for a fact that not saying no names, but a WNBA team did not draft her because they believe that, end quote, Angel Reese is too messy off the court.
That's interesting because I don't see her say a lot of stuff off the court.
Correct. But that goes into Black women being misjudged. Black women can't be, feisty and rah-rah on the court. We got to be, Napheesia Collier on the court.
Yeah.
Because you know what I'm saying? We love Napheesia Collier, but she not rah-rah. You know what I mean? She clean cut. And I'm glad that Angel Reese is paving the way for more Black women to not be so clean cut. You know what I'm saying? But
do you know what it reminds me of?
What?
You might be a little too young to remember this, but back when Allen Iverson got into the NBA, and it was like nobody wanted to rock with him because he had the braids and he wasn't showing up in the suits and all the stuff. Like he was too raw for them.
Yes.
Too edgy.
Correct.
That reminds me a lot of that. So I wonder if what we're seeing is a person come in and kind of change the expectation over time, and create a path. Trailblazing is hard. Anytime you're the first to do something or the first to show up a certain type of way, that is incredibly difficult. You face so much opposition, but then what happens is that path is blazed behind you so people can come behind you and do that. So maybe what we're seeing is Angel Reese, crawling through so other people can run, if that makes sense.
That is an incredible comparison of comparing her to AI when AI came in, because he received so much hate and criticism from the media, he received so many fines from the NBA of just being him. And guess what? He was a whole new movement. I don't know what boys, I don't know what boy or girl did not have cornrows when they was hooping.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
You wanted them Iversons.
You wanted the Iversons, the long short, the baggy shorts, right? Because Jordan era, they still was wearing the short shorts, and we're back to the short shorts now. But there was a whole decade of baggy shorts playing basketball because AI wore his shorts
absolutely
long. Everybody did it, and we looked like damn fools out there with them big ass shorts trying to dribble through our legs. All because of one guy. One guy. AI. Tell me, ain't nobody else did that but AI. And Angel Reese right now, like, I see girls like the WNBA, let's be honest, it was a lot more masculine before Angel Reese came in the picture. And now you're seeing feminine girls be proud to dribble the ball between the legs, had their nails done, had their lashes done on the court, had a new wig, their new lace front, their new sew in, and be authentically them. Love the new hip hop wave. Like, to go off topic, Lil Kim. I watched a video this week of Lil Kim getting emasculated on the Montel Jordan show, about, her lyrics being all about sex and this, that, and the other, and the women. And now you see Cardi B do it. You see Sexy Red. You see Megan Thee Stallion. So many women now, they just, it's a new norm.
It just takes one person to have the courage. Yeah,
it takes
to just be who they are, to stay true to who they are and not conform to what, everybody around them wants. And then once that one person does it, it's like all these people can come now because you did. Yeah.
Correct. Angel Reese has increased the fashion industry of the WNBA. Like Rakia Jackson, you got her, you got modeling in the WNBA now. Like Kim Kardashian is using the WNBA players for skims, all that. So, and I believe that Angel Reese played a part in that. Even though she wasn't in the commercial, I believe like what she did in college helped pave the way for the WNBA players to be in skim. Like people did not think the players in the WNBA were sexy. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Nobody was seeing them as sexy. And now people, And it's so fun. It's so fun to see. By the way, I have to give up my crush of Dijonai Carrington. That young lady is 26 years old. She's way too young for me to have a crush on her, but I think she's adorable. And she's a person to me, like, who is also one of those like dolled up players who I think brings that level of like, when's the last time we saw somebody have a crush on a WNBA player? Mm-hmm. Which is why I think those conversations are important. It's important to be like, oh, this person is beautiful or this person is fine, because we should be able to see them as that and talented. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. And we're going to get on Dijonai Carrington in a second because she got most improved. But to get back to show Caitlyn Clark some flowers, because I didn't really touch on her. She deserved it.
Yeah.
Hands down. I do believe Angel Reese kind of after the Olympics, when Caitlyn Clark got some rest, I believe she just skyrocketed. She probably was able to watch film, get some rest her legs, rehab, all those things. And I just felt like after the Olympics, Caitlyn Clark shined more. Angel Reese didn't decrease. It's just Caitlyn Clark just took off. I felt like she just got used to the game of the W. She just had to get adjusted. And kudos to Angel Reese because she came out bang banging.
Yeah,
Caitlyn Clark didn't come out bang banging. So, but it took her a minute. So I feel like Caitlyn Clark did deserve Rookie of the Year. She earned it. Do I feel Angel Reese only deserved one vote? No. But kudos to Caitlyn Clark. You got your flowers, girl. You deserved it. And can't wait to see what you do your sophomore year.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but let's get into Dijonai Carrington, most improved. Go ahead.
Most improved. Also a person who I think deserved that. I really enjoy watching her play. And watching her play this year reminded me of watching Jackie Young play the season that she got most improved. Mm-hmm. In that there was, you could see the effort. Like you could see that she's working so hard at it and she's so focused on that court. So yeah, I've all year season been like, she deserves most improved. And I was happy to see her get it.
Yeah. I mean, she plays with so much passion.
Mm-hmm.
So much passion. Like, I feel like last year she was always like a decent defensive player of the year. Mm-hmm. You know, her defense was always phenomenal. But this year, increasing her offensive level and game, and not just being a swinger, was so impressive. It just came out of nowhere because, do you know this woman has had 6 knee surgeries?
Yeah, 6. I saw that.
And she's only 26 years old. So the fact that she's had 6 knee surgeries and she's at the top of her game right now, incredible, Miss Carrington. Incredible. And the fact that you've had death threats, bad fan news, all that, and you were able to keep your mental health in check the entire season because of racism, unfortunately, in America. That's even more most improved, going through all that mentally and still showing up and being there for your teammates and being there for yourself. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, she deserves all the things for sure. And yeah, so dope to see her and her partner support each other and to see Nalissa put on a jersey, a Connecticut jersey just to support, which is, that's, you putting on another team's jersey. That's not easy to do, but to support your partner, that's super dope.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, she was wearing Dijonai Carrington jersey on sitting courtside. So I love those two together. I think they're both adorable. But yeah, good. Shout out to Dijonai. I wanted to see Connecticut in the finals this year. Mm-hmm. And it was just heartbreaking to see them not make it to the finals another year after they worked so hard this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what Connecticut is missing is a true point guard. A star point guard. And I think they'll have all the pieces together because Brianna Jones a beast, Alyssa Thomas beast, DeWanna Bonner's a beast, Dijonai defensive player, They got Mabry now, 3-point shooter, but they're just missing a true point guard. I mean, when Alyssa Thomas is bringing the ball up, I know they love that at Connecticut, but I still believe you need a true point guard. That's what's wrong with some of these teams in the W. So all you young point guards out there, hey, the W need more point guards. Like the Mystics need a point guard. Dallas needs a point guard. You need point guards. Like the game, I know the game has changed, but you still need a good point guard to give your offense a good flow.
For sure. And I think AT is better suited playing off the ball just because of how aggressive she is and how physical she is as a player. I think her talents are better utilized that way as opposed to bringing the ball up. But that's just a theory that I have.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree. But let's also get into who they lost to. Right, they lost to Minnesota. Napheesia Collier, defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
Oh my God, was she up for MVP? How many votes did she get in MVP?
I think she was. I think she was, and she probably would have gotten it if A'ja Wilson did not have the season that A'ja Wilson had.
Right. She should have got. She should have been number 2.
Yeah,
hands down.
I believe she was actually. But at any rate, yeah, defensive player of the year is nothing to, wag a finger at. Like, that's pretty huge. Defense wins games.
Correct.
Like, defense wins games. That's part of the Aces problem. Like, playing consistent defense. They don't start playing defense the way they need to until something's on the line. So
third quarter.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, like, I thought that was, I was happy to see her get that.
Yeah, because, people are asleep on Napheesia Collier. Like, she is the reason we have a gold medal for Team USA. She is one of the reasons, right? Like, Napheesia Collier stepped up for us against France. Napheesia Collier, Minnesota, she is the bread and butter of Minnesota. She scored 80-something points in 2 games in playoffs. Like, she scored 42 points in 1 game. She had 2 40-point games back to back, not one game and then skipping a back to back. You know what that means? Like, they watched film on her, made adjustments, and she still scored 40.
And still could not stop her. Yeah.
But again, defensive player of the year, she deserved it because on defensive end, they talk about A'ja being a block person in blocking shots. Like, she held the paint down for Minnesota because she's their tallest player, right?
Yeah,
she's their tallest player.
Yeah.
So she's just holding it down. I can't wait to see what she does in the finals. That Breanna Stewart and Napheesia Collier matchup is going to be ridiculous. Okay,
yeah, let's talk about that real quick. The Minnesota and the Minnesota and New York matchup.
Yes.
Oh, what do we think?
Well, I got my prediction. I'm still going with what I said at the beginning of playoffs. My bracket is 100% correct, by the way. Just FYI, I'm going to share my bracket on the page, on the story. It is 100% correct, by the way. And I have predicted New York to win it all. I predicted Minnesota and New York in the finals, and I predicted New York to win it all. Just because Minnesota, again, they don't have that hunger that New York has. New York has a chip on their shoulder. New York has been to the finals last year, They have some high expectations. They got Spike Lee coming to the games. Like that momentum is there. And I'm sorry, Minnesota. I love you, Napheesia Collier, Courtney, all y'all, but Minnesota's game for me is like the Spurs of the NBA, right? Like, they got good fundamentals, and everything like that. But the Spurs lost a couple championships that they should have won because it just wasn't hungry enough. They just didn't have that chip on their shoulders that, rah, rah. They are so fundamentally sound yes, they're going to get I believe they're going to get a championship maybe next year or the year after. They've gotten championships in the past, Minnesota, but they're not going to get it this year. They're fundamentally sound. They're going to give New York a good run. They're probably going to go all the way to game 5, but they're not going to pull it through just because I believe they're just not as hungry enough. Like they're the Spurs. They're the boring great team of the WNBA.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say, I love y'all, but they're the Spurs.
I think they definitely don't have a lot of star power on their team. So there's that. I think that I will push back on you a little bit on their hunger. I think what fuels their hunger is that no one thinks they can do it. No one is paying them any attention. And sometimes that works for people. Like when nobody is paying you any attention, everybody underestimates you. A lot of times that's when you can sneak in and get it done. And so I think if they can find a way to allow that to make them dogs, because I don't see dogs on that team is what it is. Like New York got some dogs on their team. Like New York.
Courtney Williams might be a dog. Courtney Williams might be a dog. She played for Connecticut. You know, she was grinding.
No, she is. Yeah, I'll give you that. I would say she a puppy right now. Now, if she could turn into a big dog in time for, the finals, then I think we could possibly see a different outcome. But some other people on that team also got to get some of that. Like right now, Courtney Williams is that dog that's like, they a puppy and you like, oh, if they bite you, it hurts. But, they just haven't quite become like that, a full grown, like growling at you dog. You know what I mean?
Sabrina Ionescu is like, need. After she hit her 3, she's showing all teeth, all tongue.
Look at Sloot. Sloot is like, shit. I'm scared of Vandersloot right now.
Man.
So I'm saying, like, I think if they can find that, and I do think it's possible to turn it up. Like they need to turn it up. They need to turn it up a few notches. I think if they could find that, New York is tired. The Aces, I think, did take a lot out of them because they swept the series before. And I think the Aces did make them work hard. And so New York is tired. Minnesota is too, but I think New York is tired in a different way. And I also think that there's experience that New York has. New York has been in the finals. You know what I mean? Like, if anything, I think that experience is going to kill Minnesota. But to your point, I think if they don't get it this year, I think next year they coming for it for sure.
Yeah, I think that New York arena is something to play in. I mean, the Aces haven't won a season in that arena. I mean, a game in that arena all year. I mean, they haven't beat the Liberty all year because majority of their games was in New York, and the Barclays Center is crazy. Like, honestly, I think they should get voted best arena, best fans. I mean, Aces, y'all got some good fans. But
I can't agree with that. General principle, just off general principle. For those who know me, let me be clear. My two favorite teams in the W are Aces and New York. But I have a love-hate relationship with New York because they've become rivals for us. So I have to hate them as much as I love them. But I love watching them play and would love to see them get a championship if we not gonna get it. But I cannot just off general principle. I see your point. I think you make a valid point. Like, I think you make a valid point. But just off general principle, I can't go along with that. I can't agree with that.
Okay. I'll say this. Minnesota little cute arena.
That definitely don't compare.
And Minnesota about to go to New York in the finals.
Oh, yeah.
Game 1 is tonight. I got New York. Who you got?
Is game one tonight? Why did I think game one was tomorrow? No? I could be wrong about that.
I thought I saw game one tonight.
You might be right. You might be 100% right. I hope you're wrong because Seattle plays tonight in Thursday Night Football. So I hope the game one is actually tomorrow.
Game one tonight, 7 p.m.
Okay. Well, game one tonight.
Eastern time.
Are they playing in New York or Minnesota?
New York.
Okay. I'm gonna go against the grain here.
New York.
And I'm gonna say that Minnesota. No, New York got this one. They're rested up. They're rested only because they're
Minnesota
rested up.
went to game 5 with Connecticut.
That's what I'm saying.
Come on,
only because they're rested up. But I do think Minnesota is going to grab one in New York. I think they have that sneak in power because no one thinks they can do it. They're underestimating them. Mm-hmm. And I do think that New York is underestimating them. I think in New York's mind, they already have the title. And I think that could hurt them.
No, they don't. Because they thought they did last year.
That's what I'm saying. I hope they don't, but the energy to me after they won against the Aces is like, we got this.
Yeah. When you beat the Aces, it's like, oh, we got this. I get your point. And
the Aces was not the best team in the league this year. No. Minnesota was.
According to data. According to stats. According to stats.
Minnesota was the best team in the league.
According to the records, Minnesota is the best team. And guess what? New York has to beat the best team, Minnesota. Yeah. And I'll say this, in order for Minnesota to keep up with the New York Liberty, they have to knock down shots. I believe whoever's going to win this series, no matter if I'm right with New York or wrong with Minnesota, they'll have the best shooting percentage. New York can shoot their lights out. Minnesota can shoot their lights out. Mm-hmm. Right? Who is going to take the better shot selection and who is going to be able to keep up to knock down these shots? It's going to be a fast-paced game. You know, I think it was game 2 or 3 where New York and the Aces was just going back and forth, knocking it down. That is how this series is going to be.
You think so? I think it's going to be a fight for the pace. I think it's going to be a fight for the pace because one thing about New York and the Aces, both teams love to run the ball. Teams love to run the ball. I feel like Minnesota likes to be just a little more calculated and, set things up a little more. So I think they're going to try to fight to control the pace of the game. And I think we're going to see that battle. I think we're going to see New York run. And the question is whether or not that will wear Minnesota out, because that's not the game they prefer to play, at least from what I've seen.
All right, WNBA Countdown. You need to be on there with Andrea Carter, and all them.
I mean, we gonna see.
WNBA Countdown predictions.
I think honestly, like whoever can control the pace will win the game.
Correct.
So I think we'll see that play out.
So I'm confused. Are you picking New York or Minnesota?
I'm picking New York for game 1.
Okay. So we both picking New York game 1.
Only because of the fatigue. Only because I think Minnesota is tired.
And who you picking
New York
overall?
Has had time to rest. Oh, do I have to?
Well, you made your bracket, right?
I didn't make one.
Oh, you didn't make a bracket? You didn't send it to me?
I forgot. Nah, I didn't make one. Not because I didn't want to. I just forgot. I think overall New York will take it. But I think Minnesota will push them to a game 5. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to scare New York a little bit. I think New York is going to have to get scared into taking it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. For sure. Well, let's get into some NCAA. NCAA starting off next week. And my girl JuJu changing the game. Yeah. Changing the game. Yes, Angel Reese had the Reebok deal, but JuJu got the Nike deal in college as a sophomore. What sophomore has a Nike deal in college?
Yeah, it's so amazing.
JuJu.
And it's great to see. So I'm excited. And she's still, like you said, she's just a sophomore. So we still got 2 more years to watch her play in college before she even gets to the W. So
well, 3, because this year ain't really started.
Like,
yeah,
she's already like breaking through ceilings. So it's just going to be amazing to see all the places she'll go.
She's going to be the greatest of all time.
Ooh, interesting.
Going to be.
Big words.
She's going to be better than Maya Moore. She's going to be better than Candace. She's going to be better than Cynthia Cooper. She's going to be better than Cheryl Swoops. She's going to be the greatest guard of all time in the W.
Okay, the greatest guard of all time. Okay.
Correct.
Okay, fair.
Correct.
I don't know. I think sometimes I get a little bit like, I'm cautiously optimistic because I think we have so much time to continue watching her play. And I think as long as she continues to develop, then yes, I think we're watching one of the most, not just talented guards of all time, but one of the most prolific
Correct.
guards of all time in the making. So that's if she continues to develop. She got a lot of star power around her right now. And if that don't start to mess with her head, if she can keep her head in the game, then I think for sure.
She was in Paris for the Olympics. I was scared. She was hanging out with Dawn. Huh, Dawn was dapping it up in Paris. I was like, oh, shoot, we transferred. But nah, she committed to USC. But I mean, she hanging out with so many stars. And I mean, and then now this Nike shoe deal, like I'm buying her shoes. Like soon as, I hope her shoes come out during season soon. Because if so, I'm buying my team some JuJu shoes. Like my booster club, we got to get it done. Like JuJu, like I coach black girls. And I mean, she is the mecca of what a black hooper basketball player, especially for the guards, because yes, we got Asia Wilson in our post and all that, but like, am I forgetting somebody? But what guard black woman star power do we have? Yes, we have Malaysia Fulwale, but she don't have a Nike shoe deal. She wasn't a starter. You know, she was a sixth man coming off the
college right now.
Yes.
No, I don't think we have it right now. But
it's been post game. It's been Angel Reese.
Like that's exactly what I'm saying though. Like she had 3 more. We got this season and then 2 more after this. We don't know who's coming in. We don't know who has been developing. We don't know what Malaysia Fulwale has been doing in the off season. You know what I mean? Like you know, it could be, but yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, Malaysia Fulwale got that Red Bull deal, but you know when you get a Nike deal, you made it. When you get that Nike deal, you made it. So
for sure, you in that thing.
Yeah, JuJu, hurry up and bring these shoes out so I can get team shoes for my team and I could be rocking your shoes with my suits on the sideline. Hurry up. And Asia, god dang, how long we gotta wait? Come on now. Nike taking too long.
I mean, so good things take time. So I'm willing to wait because I want to see the design of the shoe. I want the shoes I want to see it. I want it to be good. So if I got to wait for you to, you know, get it right and tight, I'll wait. I
guess my team will probably settle for some Sabrina shoes this year. No shade.
Because that was definitely no
shade. We still buying them.
Settle for those Sabrinas.
We still buying them. We love you, Sabrina. We love your shoes. Yeah, we'll settle for some Sabrina shoes, but yeah, maybe next year we'll get some JuJu.
Yeah, speaking of off season, a lot of WNBA players going overseas to play in the off season. And we saw Nika Mule sustain an ACL injury. She was playing in the Turkish Sports Super League. And she sustained, what was that, like last week or the week before? Sustained an ACL injury, a season ending.
Well, our
ACL
audience, who does she play for? Who is she?
Who is she in the W?
Yes.
Okay, so Nika Mule plays for the Seattle Storm. And in the off season, she was playing for Turkey. She was playing over in Turkey and sustained an ACL injury, which I think is pretty important. Like, I hope that it happened early. So I hope that she will be ready to play next season for Seattle, because I do think that she's an important piece for Seattle, and Seattle is one of those teams that we thought would be closer than they were this year to it, and will probably be seeking a championship, like desperately looking for a championship next year. So yeah, that was
sad,
heartbreaking.
Man. That's sad. I mean, our players should not have to go anywhere else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they feel like they have to.
Like they don't feel like they have rest.
They at all. And you know, like I was looking, the Dallas Wings had posted, our Wings are traveling to play such and such. Like it's an honor. Like go check out our Wings, and they had the picture of them and where they were headed to, like which league they were headed to, which country they were headed to, and it was like 7 players. And I'm like, damn, the Wings, we only had 4 players this year, you know. So
yeah,
you know, it's
cringe.
like all of
that's
them,
so
all of them are
cringe,
playing overseas. Like, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's so cringe because it's like, all these people are leaving their families now to go play overseas because we don't play enough. Like,
correct.
Fix it. WNBA, find a way to fix it.
I mean, Williams. What's the girl name that played for Paris? Last name Williams.
Gabby Williams.
Gabby. Yes, thank you. She called the CEO out. She called Kathy out. Kathy's the CEO of the WNBA, by the way. Called Kathy out. Yeah. She said that Kathy said at the beginning of the season that players was going to make $700,000 a year salary.
Mm-hmm.
No one is making that. Not even Asia Wilson is making $700,000 a year.
Yeah.
She called her out. She called her out and said, "Hey,
as she should have.
Hold up to your promise."
Kathy needs to be called out on a lot of things, but she getting called out a lot of different places, so we don't have to call her out on that stuff here. But yeah,
I mean, we need a new CEO.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We need a new CEO.
Yeah, I just agree.
I said it.
I just agree. Yeah, I just agree.
Yeah. The women, and I believe the women of the WNBA are fed up with her shit.
As they should be.
They call her out, I believe, are fed up
with her shit.
They call her out so much on Twitter. If you look at the shade that they be throwing on Twitter, like even Sydney Colson like posted one of like the Twitter of the WNBA players have been on fire. Like, X, not Twitter, X. But girl, get the name right. But the players are tired, the fans are tired. Like, how can we get a petition or something? We need the CEO of Dallas. She retired. I just heard she retired. The CEO of Dallas, the lady from Dallas. What's her name?
Oh, I'm not sure. I don't know her name, but I know who you're talking about.
Sid Marshall. Mm-hmm. We need the CEO of Dallas that changed the Dallas Mavericks around. They implemented diversity, women's rights, all that within the Mavericks. We need her to become the CEO of the WNBA. Sid Marshall.
I agree.
Let's go, Sid Marshall. She would be perfect. Perfect.
Oh, real quick, just while we on the topic of coaches, not coaches, but staffing changes. So the coach of the Atlanta Dream is out.
Oh,
done.
I'm so glad you brought this up.
I forgot about that. And we definitely need
everybody
to talk about
take a drink. I would everybody take a drink because I'm not about to hold back. I'm gonna let you talk. And then I'm gonna say what I have to say, but I'm not gonna hold back.
The only thing I really have to say, because I'm going to let you do your thing. I feel like she was building something dope over there. And if they had given her just a little bit more time, it would have come together. But I hope that she finds a place somewhere else. And I kind of want to see Teresa Weatherspoon end up in Atlanta.
That would be great.
Yeah.
That would be great. And you know what? I would feel a little better if Atlanta picked up Teresa Witherspoon.
Mm-hmm.
But I am disappointed in Chicago. I am disappointed in Atlanta. I was disappointed in the Dallas Wings when they had that. What is up with our black women head coaches getting one chance, 1 year?
Yeah.
When you got freaking, I can't call them out because I'm gonna need a job in a few years.
Yeah, don't call them out.
But you got other people with worse records.
Why
losing records,
is the standard different for us? I mean, we know why, but yeah.
She was closer to making playoffs than some people. Than some teams. Why isn't the Mystics coach fired?
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding?
Mm-hmm. The Mystics coach is not fired because she got them a draft pick.
Did she?
Because
or was that
I mean, when you have a losing season like that, you get a great draft pick. Like, I think if they had a losing season like that and then they don't pick up if you're gonna lose big so you could get a good draft pick. But
look, all I'm gonna say is this was a problem in the NBA a few years ago.
Yeah.
When they cut Doc Rivers and they cut the Cavs coach and all that with the black men being head coaches in the NBA. All I'm saying, WNBA CEOs and owners, is give our black women a chance. Stop with these 1-year contracts. Stop for head coaches. Like, I'm a coach and I know for a fact I cannot build my team at Dallas Roosevelt in 1 year.
Right.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
It takes 4 years to get a degree. It takes 4 years to graduate high school. It takes time to build something incredible. Like, okay, Becky Hammond came in with the Aces, but she didn't build the Aces. I'm sorry,
no,
Nick, she did not build
Aces. The Aces were already a good team,
and the Aces was the San Antonio Silver Stars before it was the Aces. So they already had championships and contenders and all of that.
And they were the Houston Comets before that. So, like, for sure.
So she didn't build the Aces.
Becky did not come off a couch. Becky was assistant coaching for the Spurs.
Correct.
She didn't come, you know what I mean? She came ready to immediately do work.
I will say, though, on the positive side, Seattle Storm is giving their coach a chance. Black woman, former WNBA champion of Seattle Storm. She won a championship with them. Now she's the coach of them. I mean, she better not get fired. She better not, because she's the last black woman in the WNBA as a coach. She's the last. Right now, we don't know what Chicago is going to hire. We don't know what Atlanta's going to hire. Right now, she's the only black woman head coach in the WNBA.
I have a prediction for Chicago. And this is if this person will even take the job. I have a feeling that Chicago is going to bring in Candace Parker.
No.
It's just a prediction. It's just an early prediction. We'll see what happens.
She won't even take the job because she said
if she would take the job, but
because why did she leave Chicago? Because her ex-husband lives on the West Coast. Her daughter was traveling back from Chicago to the West Coast, and then she was missing her daughter. So she wanted her daughter's in her teenage years now. I mean, she's into volleyball, all that. She don't want to miss that. She wants to stay on the West Coast, which is why she left Chicago to go to the Aces.
To go to the West Coast. But sometimes it just takes the right opportunity. I don't want to leave the West Coast right now, but if the right opportunity show up in New York, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it just takes the right opportunity, the right situation, the right, but we'll see. That's just a very off whatever prediction. I do think that we are going to see Candace Parker show up in coaching in the league. And I think it'll be next season. Even if it's not a head coach, I think we're going to see her show up in coaching. And I think it's going to be next season.
Really? I have a totally different opinion than you, Mick. Like, Michael Jordan is not a coach. He said he can't coach. Sometimes these GOATs cannot coach. I just don't see coaching.
Oh no, I agree 100%.
Like,
not
I see her coaching her daughter. I see her coaching her daughter, but I just don't see her coaching in the W. I just don't see it.
We're going to see what happens. But either way, I'm excited to see whatever her next step will be. And I think we'll see whatever her next step will be. We'll see it next season for sure.
Correct. All right. So we're going to get into our last topic of the show. Man, number one senior in the U.S., Aaliyah Chavez. She visited them horns, the Longhorns. A couple weeks ago, she visited Austin, Texas, and guess what?
Tell our viewers what school that is, just in case they don't know.
University of Texas, baby. Longhorns. The University of Texas, the UT. As I heard, Tennessee is, y'all call you Tennessee UT. No, Longhorns, UT.
Get it right.
Aaliyah Chavez, she is in Lubbock, Texas. And she has gotten an offer.
Her on this show.
Yeah, we talked about it on the show, and she has gotten an offer from everybody. And we even told her top 5 schools, but now
we did.
It's down to 2, baby. She's not going to Don. She not going to USC. She not going to LSU. She called Kim Mulkey. Kim Mulkey been driving to West Texas, goddamn it, so much. She not going to Kim Mulkey. You didn't get this one, boo boo. She either going to UT or Texas Tech. And I think, honestly, I think UT got it in the bag. There's no way that girl's going to Texas Tech. Texas Tech, I mean, yes, they have Patrick Mahomes, but they don't have enough money, enough resources, enough NIL deals. When you go to UT, Google it. Check my facts. UT is the wealthiest university in America. Period. Hands down, over Harvard, Yale. UT is they have the wealthiest alumni in, like, Vince Young still getting paid. Jamal Charles still getting paid. Like, all these Kevin Durant is still getting checks from UT. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. So the sky is going to, Aaliyah Chavez is going to be bigger than JuJu. She's and she's a Latina. Like, Latina's been waiting on that hooper to come. They've been waiting.
Remind me again, what position does she play?
Point guard.
Point guard. Okay, so is Aaliyah Chavez gonna be the best that ever came?
Let's go. I saved this for last because this is like my most exciting topic. I can't wait till she announce it. I think she's gonna finish her UIL season. That's the league in Texas that we have. She's going to finish her UIL season. She's going to win a championship because she hasn't won a championship in the state of Texas. In which, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to realize how hard it is to win a state championship in the state of Texas and how good our Texas girls are becoming in the state of Texas because Aaliyah Chavez has not won yet, like the number one player. And she has good people on her team. She has other D1 players on her team that have gotten offers that are going to Texas Tech, that are going to other top tier universities, and they have not won. They have not been to state. They haven't even been to state yet. They've been to regionals. They've been one game from state, but they haven't been yet. So she's looking to win a state championship. So I don't think she's going to announce where she's going to go until she finish her season, which that's not going to be until March, because in the state of Texas, we don't finish until March.
So we got to wait.
We got to wait. But I think she going, she throwing them horns up. I mean, the video she reshared this morning, a video of her trip there. I mean, I was on all my friends' Instagrams when they played, they had a UT football game. They was playing Louisiana Monroe. I think when she went and visited, they had her name in the freaking sky of Austin, Texas. They had her name on a drone downtown. Name on a drone. Like, they rolled out the red carpet for this girl. She going to UT. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
I don't know if I have a prediction on where she's gonna land. I wanted to see her land at one of the other schools she's already declined. So I'll get on your team and say I hope she lands at UT. Either way, I hope she lands at a place that allows her to shine, and really a place where she can make a difference for that team, which is why I don't know, like there's a chance that Texas Tech could be more attractive to her just because it depends on her vibe, her demeanor. You know what I mean? She might be one of those people who wants to build something from the ground up and you know what I mean? I think there's a lot that she could add to Texas Tech.
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely got to bring more value. I think the only reason she would choose Texas Tech is for family. You know, the Latina community, the Mexican community, they're big on family. They don't travel too far from home. You know, their moms and them don't let them go too far from home. I mean, I'm sorry, Shell Swoops, but Aaliyah Chavez name gonna be up. She gonna be the new face of Texas Tech if she goes to Texas Tech. Like, she will dominate your record. She will outdo your records. You know what I'm saying? All that, and she would own that town. She would get the key to the city.
Sure.
She would own it. So
yes, it depends. Yeah. It's really gonna depend on what she's looking for, I think.
But if she's looking for, I mean, because this is the name of the game now. If she's looking for NIL deals, if she's looking for star power, she got to go to UT, because UT gonna advertise, market. The Texas Tech don't have the marketing that UT has. You know, especially being in the Big 12 versus the SEC.
Does that change because she goes there? It's the thing. Like, if she chooses them, does that completely change the game? And that's the piece that I'm like, that could go either way for sure. But we're going to see. We're going to wait. We're going to have some fun watching her play this season.
Oh, man.
And we're going to see what she decides. We did not get a chance to talk about team movements, but I think that's cool. I think we can do that like next episode. We could talk about what we think some of the WNBA teams need to do, and what we'd like to see happen in terms of player movement, trading, all that good stuff.
Because finals will be wrapped up by the time our next episode. So we'll crown the final champion and talk about predictions, movement, contracts being up. Because, y'all, the W going to look different next year.
For sure. Absolutely. So on that note, let's get out of here. Like us, follow us. Please share our podcast to all of y'all, to all like 80 of y'all that watch us on a regular basis. I see y'all on YouTube. Y'all listen on Spotify. Y'all pay attention to us in lots of different ways. I'm a data person, so I look at the numbers. Thank you so much for the support. Like us, share us, comment, interact with us. Tell us if you agree with us. Tell us if you disagree with us. Talk to us. We talk back. We will see y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.